5, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And let this new day on this wonderful Friday be filled with renewed strength and renewed courage. Jaka mahelo abiki ata jalo re go tsosa mo Dumela Botswana breakfast show. Morning to you across our beautiful and wonderful country. Riri, thank you so much. Tulaganyo ya rona ya mamorata ebong Dumela Botswana breakfast show. Jaka ile twaile sego ga o tsoswe ga o tsogolo nosi o tsosa o tsoga le batho ba le babedi ba ile gore they are very excited to wake up with you. Myself, Leboa LB Moring, and my beautiful brother Benjamin.
Yes.
I know your name is not Benjamin, but I love to call you that.
I forgive you because everybody does.
Really?
But it's mostly to annoy me. They do it to annoy me. But
I really do it to
And it's a good thing that you call me Benjamin on Friday because I'm actually in the mood that is my last day here. I cannot wait. When it's Friday, keep me like a barrier, I get totally big weekend. So I am perfect. I'm just fine, my love. How are you?
I am well. I'm very excited about this weekend, specifically because the Southern qualifiers, the Botswana Women's Championships. I'm very passionate. We can do qualify the final spot of that top 4.
Yes, before we tell our viewers what we have in store for them, today is the solstice day in the southern hemisphere. The night becomes longer and the day was short.
Winter solstice.
Honestly, apparently it happens the 21st of June every year. It's my first time hearing of it. I don't know if
so that's Friday.
No, you're about Soha. Yes. So I didn't want to ask about it because I thought that maybe you have a better idea.
The moon refused to go back. Space. I create
so life is interesting. All right, now take this back as go to music. I'm going to come to school. I'm going to Ratana Sela, Mokonia Set, Mr. Tramarati, Ale Masume, Amabidi, Boom, 21st of June 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today is Arts and Entertainment Friday. Our conversations will center around Itoso Budutu. LB will be in conversation with one of our radio legends, Loose Boy, Lusika. I'm actually excited for this one.
I know Lusika Seboni is going to sit right here and talk to us about radio. How has it transformed over the last couple of years, right? Really, starts out today. How are they different? And who
was your favorite radio legend? Who is your favorite radio legend?
Back in the day, I've always listened to Yarna FM.
Yes. Well, I think you are young. Hey, back in the day, what Yarna FM?
Hey, back in the day.
Oh yeah, my dear.
I really enjoyed Tumi Ramsden, Miss B on radio. I remember just the women who opened the door and paved the way for the next generation. Bali entertaining, bali funny, bali snacky. Do you have a favorite radio presenter?
Yes, loads of them. Loads of them. One of them being Onaraban Thing. I think my mom influenced me to like One, and the second one being Leso Khajwana, and the third being Tusole Thoma.
Very nice.
Because I'm actually old. But yeah, the modern one, my favorite was the real Enchiladas Tumi and Scar. My favorite. So yes, I said it.
What a duo. We will be talking all things entertainment on this Friday morning. How has radio transformed in the last few years? We will be reminiscing with Lusika Luzboy Seboni in just a bit. Hey, the Dumela Botswana stage is going to be alight with talent.
Yes, Nacy Boy is in the building. Manfano has transitioned the music masithola le wa motho kana go kwetwe le re itsele gompiko tata re mo kutela gore sente go dira ka tseng kona re mo itsele ne se boy o tema la tsinga no he has laid back a bit. I think yona khanye about the experience and my temogola mo industry, so ne boy will be right there.
Very, very nice. It is Entertainment Fridays, but there's no better way gore ka simolla letsatsi than ka go itshidila mmele. O bontshe mmele gore le ha o tla go Friday re ntse re on, and we are on with Biki. He is standing by to help us get fit with Bipomas.
Welcome to Get Fit with Bipomas. My name is Biki. Our today's session is a strength training. So there is a weight. So if you don't have weight, go laping. Normally encourage about water bottles or your broomstick. So I will take this as a broomstick. So now I'm going to use this, but if you don't have anything like this, just find something else you can use just to hold, especially when you do the squats and all that. Okay. Before we start, are you guys ready? So just right here. Let's go, guys. Keep going. So you go. Come on, let's have fun. And one, relax. Let's go. Stretch. Let's stretch. Okay. Now, right here, our first exercise, you're gonna do squats with shoulder press. So you're gonna go one, hold, then take it up. Okay. Let me face this way. 4, 3, 2, go. 1, hop. You push your arms back. Watch my back. Let's go. I'm right here. Take it up. All the way down. Bend your knees. Back straight. Push your arms back. Then you go. Let's go. Easy. Take it down. All the way. Let's go. Push it down. Up. And 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Now, let's go down here. You give me lunges, okay? So, I'm gonna face there. Okay. 4, 3, 2, you go. Right here. Hop. Okay. Let's go. Up. Just bend both legs. And chest out. 90 degrees. Let's go. Take it down. Let's go. All the way. Let's go. Push it. Go down as far as you can. But if you can't go down that low. Oh boy, because some of you guys like me, now. So you hold somewhere and that's it. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Now you're gonna give me deadlift and upright rows. So you go all the way down, then up. Fair, leg straight. You just push your bums back. Here. Then push it. Let's go. Down. Up. We go. Take it down. Let's go. Together, guys. Okay? You can add calves raise there on your toes. Now work. Hop. Take it down. Push your bums back. Go. Up. And shoulders. Let's go. Yeah. Hop. Take it up, guys. Let's go. Push it. Up. Let's go. Up. Down. Up. We go. Up. Yes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And thank you guys. That was good. Well done, guys. So just go on to Bipoma's page, anytime and do all these exercises, okay? You can train at your own time, anyway, any day. If you feel outring this time, it's late enough for you, or you find we get there is a here. Okay.
go dumirisa la mo mosola tsilwane hele la botlhano tle ba gone ha rebeletse le go tlobe diragala yalo hele ka mafelo a beke hele tsene diragala mo tsilwane la maabane ga re ga tse dingwe a tsere tshwere gone ha basamiki ba rona the pair of sekao Jack Hamogalo le George Chiswani so ba tsela sala ka sa ba dira bontle yalo a go di kgaisano tse tshweletseng gone ka go moroko ka ga re ga tse dingwe gape a tsere tshwere gone ha mesamiko ya rugby tle be tshweletse yalo hele ka mafelo a beke tla tsamantse a re go fa yalo gone gore DM ka tselentseng jang di fixture tsa teng mesamiko a bo melone he tle bentse let's yalo ele ya DTCB jaka go tsamantse re ipankanyetse yalo the top 4 e tlebeng e tshwaretse yalo mono ga borone mme mesamko e tlebetse le mo kolo ba tse Gamogalo le Kolikiti ga re ga tseng re tshwereng gone ha a tsamantse di tsweletse yalo mono gae di a karetsa yalo o sone tse di amanyalo bone ba tsamki ba dikolo kana school sport ya kantse le gore ntitsu yalo modumo yalo mo go tsone dikgang go lo nga o bulang television teng ga o bulang radio teng kgang ke gona gore se ka school sport re ta go ba mo tina go gona gore the latest tsamantse e leng gone ka go dumela na ke botsa ke mena o se fome ga ke no se ke na le LB hi
how you doing ke na le potso
yeah
kana re na le school sports se sa le se emiswa ka bo 2020 ya ke re na le bo 4 years go sena school sports why ke sa bone bana ba di private school ba tetse ya no national team tsa ka gore bone school sports sa bone se tsweletse.
At one point, I did the interview with the president ya Botswana Table Tennis Association and Tare Boneko BTT ba bone go le botlhokwa gore be go simolosa yalo yone table tennis yalo mo dikolong ka gore ga o lebile yalo sport in general mo gae e ka re bana ba di private school ba tsamaya ba segelo ha thoko ke batho ba ileng gore itse gore ba itshemekela yalo basketball the preachers and then e ba tlogala tse dingwe then they play rugby so ba batla gona ba ketsa gore okay go na yalo le tse dingwe tse tshwana mo table tennis le bo tennis jalo e le kganyele gona gore bone ba bone gore there is a gap in between tsa mantse tle go tse yalo ke tsone di private yalo ga ba bona le thata so e ba introduce yalo ditafole ba di se yalo gone go di private nka kwa yanong the question engwe ke gona gore ba bangwe ba di sporting code ba hakae
so se buang ke gore karabo a potso a me ke gore we are not actively going out to the private school ra go batla bana re renya lona kana le tsweletse la tshamka netball e teng football e teng jaanong ta re pike lona re santse re emetse school sports
re simola ka tselentseng jana tsa tsatsi la botlhano a ka golwela tshwanetso e le tsa school sport mosila maabane the minister of youth sport and culture tsamantsa bua le gona gore ba hile yalo o sone school sport madi a nkana ka 55 million me se tla tsamantse se simola yalo jaaka ile gore theme etlo ga e wela a tlebentsa masintse se simola me a tsamantsa ka gona gore o ka itse gore go nile yalo the increase from 24 million go ya gone go 55 million me 37 million o ka gona gore o tlo ba antshiwa yalo e le di incentives go go batlo ba participate yalo in this program me tsamantsa bua gore ba tsamki ba bangwe bana ba dikolo ba le gona gore ha ba ka tsama ba ntse ba hiwa yalo mo go tsone tsa thuto ba tla nna yalo sebaka sa gore ba hiwa yalo tsona go tsama ba ntse ba tsamka yalo mme are a new name for the sport in schools program e tla ba ntse e reveal yalo in the next few days ke tsa mantsa di yalo and the minister of youth gender sport and culture e tle be le bona ba ileng gore ba tsama ba ntse ba head yalo that program ga go gola gore ntse le ka go bona ba tsama ba ntse a kone re ntse re gore teng ke bone ba ba tlhokometseng yalo matitshara jalo mme sa move yalo sa gone yalo ka go maiseke ka kwa school sport tse tsa mantsi di diragala tla mo sila ka moso be re bua thata mo thulaganyeng ya eno we have 2 hours gore tle re botse minister a gone gore sentlentle ya go tsamantsi e me ka tselentse ja mme le ga le rena le ene a re update ya gone gore the 55 million o tsamantsa approval yalo ke budget ele from the government of Botswana ba mo allocate ka tselentse jang
se re ntseng tota ela re lwa ka sone finally se tla wela Kenya School Sport, where we got the approval, 55 million pula. And I need to stress this, Hore. Kana we have been engaging with those by Lahoraba Ameha. We had 24 million pula. And if you recall well, co-education it was 3 million when sport sa ko dikolong se santse se le ko education. Re tla revela leina gore sa go bitswa eng in the next few days. Me se se monate ke gore irile go tswa gone ko education, that 3 million we advocated for an increment and we got 24 million pula. That 24 million pula ra bona gore re ra jang gore re mo oketse. We offered 37 million pula incentives for those who will be partaking in this program. Now we are at 55 million pula, and we still have the hope ya gore e tla re theme pele ga e wela e be re se re simolotse.
Minister, our sport, what's your take on this one?
I think it's been going on for so long, and so many promises have been made in the past that as a citizen, as a citizen, ke tla dumela ke bona hela go simolla ga ke sa itse ga ke sa nna le faith mo our leaders ke o sale go ntse go tira simolla ka January 2021 ra simolla gape ka ga buiwa gape ka September I think 2022 somewhere around there go ntse go tira ke tla dumela hela ke bona go simolla
are ke ne Thomas ha re tsong se ele tsa school sport re tsama re bela tseding tsa madintsi diama ya lo ba beach volleyball ga go la rena le the pem ya sa mantsi e tsweletse le gone kana tsa e tsweletse ka go tshamka yalo gone yalo ka ko Morocco ka kwa Jack ga mo ya lo le George Chiswani so belang gore ba ile gone ka go tsa mabantse ba ipatlela yalo phatla go dikgaisano tsone tsa Paris ga mo ya lo le di World Championship ga go la gona gore only top 4 teams ke tsone tsa madintsi di hwa yalo sebaka a tsa mabantse ba compete yalo gone yalo ka go di Olympicing me mo sela mabane ba tsa ba tshamkile yalo metshamko ele mebedi ba fenyalo motshamko wa ntla kgatlhano le Haselone ele la Togo ba fenyalo ka sata ya ntla ba fenyalo ka 21-18 mme sata bobedi ba fenyalo ka 21-15 ka kakaretso ba fenyalo a setse tharo go kana setse pedi go lefela mme motshamko wa bobedi no tsa motshamko lo tlhapa sele sa Mauritius re bona yalo ba fenyalo sata ya ntla ka 21-9 mme sata ya bobedi ba fenyalo ka 21-8 se na tatsa go mo tsela gompieno ba tlo ba tshamka yalo metshamko ya boraro lwa bone o tlo ba tshamka yalo against tlhapa sele sa Kenya kana go ya bobedi ga tsa makinski le bile sentle gone ha le kana ko ya busupa ya lo mo tshokologong ba tshamka lo sthapasone ele sa Cameroon ke bone ba tshamki ba mono ga ba tsamantse ba a dire ya lo bontla ele ko metshamkong eno ele ya beach volleyball ga go la gona tsela maabane na tsamantse ba bua gore a go bonolo gone yalo ka Morocco ka kwa o bona ile gona gore ha o tshantse gore gate ba re ba batla metsi gate ba buke ha o sama ba batla sengwe se se batla gate ba se buke yalo ga nke gona gore ba batla go ba frustrate gona gore ga o lebile di ranking ke lebile di ranking mo tsela maabane Morocco number 1 ha ke tsore mo number 2 gona ha le make itse gona gore rena re mo position 3 South Africa position 8 tsa makinski le drink ga ke bona gore re bata mothale 1
re bata team ile 1 Botswana has been drawn in group D, which has 5 opponents, which means they will have to play 4 games as opposed to babangwe mo di groupong tse dingwe ba le gore they will only play 3. But I've been so proud we tsore again ke la ntha ke itumela team mo botshelong ba me ya ka ke itumeletse sekao Jackie le George Chiswani so because they overcame a lot. I cannot imagine ke lenda today bo go ke tsame ke khantele ka 11 and then ke rona ba gape ka 5 re tsena mo khoteng gape ra tshameka, but they've done it and they've shown that they really the talent that they carry for beach volleyball doubles as a duo it's a real thing. But ba khona go wina but how bona re le number 2 mo Africa yan ga se go right ha se go re
position 3 yeah it's position 3 number 2 is Mozambique.
Okay. The reason why we are ranked position 3 is because it is real talent. The wins that we have garnered were from the hard work that they've put in, and it is showing right now. I expect them to finish top of this group, and then we go to that top 4 playoff, and we can see ke gore ha ile gore re lebagana le Morocco re lebagana le mahatsa a mangwe a ileng gore a tswa mo di-teaming mo di-groupong tse dingwe ra go dira yang, but very very proud and well done to both of them.
Tla ke go fe ranking ke ska go itima ke sena gore number 1 sentse gona le Morocco gona ya lo number 2 stapa sentse so sa Mozambique Botswana are position 3 number 4 ke Sierra Leone number 5 ke stapa sentse so sa Togo Gambia ha ba iphitlhela ba le mo sport number 6 me mo sport number 9 ke stapa sentse sa South Africa 12 Senegal ke mahatsa le gore tsamantse a le teng ya lo mo di ranking tsone tso e le tsa beach a volleyball ya ka go tsamaya go ntse go ipatala le phatla go di kgaisano tsone e le tsa Olympic re tswa gone home re tsamara go lebella tse dingwe tsa metshameko a re bella tsa taekwondo le bone e ba tlhobana ya lo le the tournament ya lo Rabiki e go samantse re bona ya lo the series ya bone e tsa mamantse ba ibitsalo the 6th series e tsweletse ya lo me go tsamantse o lebile gona go tla be go tsamaya go diragala ka tshelentseng jam re go bona ya lo ile series ya ntlha ya go diragala ya lo ka di 22 tsone e le sa June me ya bobedi ya go tsamantse e le teng ya lo ka di 27 tsone sa July me August 24 tlo ba dira ya lo the 3rd series tsa mantse e le teng e rulegantse ya lo ke bone ba Botswana Taekwondo Federation e le the 6th series challenge yone e le ya 2024 ke ngotsa tsamantse o ka di solofela ya lo ha re tsamaya re lebile ya lo tsone e le tsa taekwondo ha re tsamaya e le tsa taekwondo re tsamaya re lebella tse dingwe tse tsamang di ama ya lo metshameko yone e le ya rugby le bone ba tla ba tsholetse ya lo e le ka mafelo a beke ya ka league ya bone e tla be hentse e tsweletse ga go le gore le mo mafelong a beke e hitileng e ne ntse tsamaya ntse le teng re tla tsamaya re ntse bona ntse ka tshelentseng jang ra go bona setlhopha sa UB Rhinos ba thulang setlhopha sa Francis Town e le di reserve tsone e le tsa under 20 to me UB Rhinos se tebe tshameka ya lo le Bius tele motshameko wa bomme me ra go bona ya le ntse le setlhopha tsone so sa UB Rhinos ba tshameka ya lo le setlhopha sa Bius tele motshameko wa borre e le the 15th Semihawks yone ya go tshameka ya lo setlhopha tsone so sa Jaguars le motshameko wona e le wa borre e le wa 15th ke motshameko yone e le ya rugby yo ka solhelanyalo e le ka mafelo a beke
Gaborone Hogs are very great season. They have gone on a 3-game unbeaten run. UB balelekile, and I think it's making the league very, very interesting. Especially in the men's 15s. And so it's about 10. Week 10 league. Very proud of the Botswana Rugby Union for continuously hosting a competition. National team they've been consistent for over 10 weeks in the league.
Maybe le gongwe tle ska go haba ga borone hela re bile ya lo rugby because na gore ka go joining ka kwa le bone ba tlhobantse ba tsoletse ya lo ka metshameko ya bone re go bona lo stopper sa joining ba thulana lo stopper sa IBU right se le metshameko one hele wa bomme metshameko mongwe o ile go rotlo le ka 1530 gona ka go joining ka kwa re go bona stopper sa joining ba tshameka ya lo stopper sa IBU Raiders ele metshameko one ele wa borre ke tsa madintse di diragala ya lo ele tsone ele tsa rugby ha re tsamo tsone tso ele tsa rugby ra tsama re lebella
So this was started in Ghana, it worked, it scaled to Uganda, to Nigeria, and then now it's in Botswana for us to come and contextualize it to Botswana, to the climate change issues that we face here and empower youth to take lead in these issues.
What are the issues that we face, though, the challenges that we face with regards to climate change, you think?
I would say most prevalently we would look at the current droughts and that affected agricultural productivity, as well as just issues around environmental conservation and biodiversity. We know Botswana's landscapes are one of the most beautiful in the world, just trying to get it in the conscious of youth that they have a responsibility and the ability to take charge in such things, to be equipreneurs in preserving that, to also be environmental leaders. So this is what we are trying to do through GAIO, to not only work on the mindset, but also present opportunities from our extensive network across Africa and get young people in Botswana to know that, of course, it's important that we get employment, but this is a whole new sector where we could create employment, we could lead this, we could advocate in this. It's a whole space that young people can be empowered.
We're going to talk about how we can do that in a bit, but let's talk about green jobs. We keep on hearing this term, green jobs, green jobs. What are we talking about?
You cannot talk of green jobs with, basically you talk about the green economy, and what that means is that businesses that target environmental conservation. It could be in renewable energy. Right now, if you look at what's going on globally, the global landscape, it's pulling towards investing in energy that will not be harmful to the environment and yet still power countries. We're talking about solar, hydro, and kind of looking at that. Botswana has abundant resources and yet this is still lagging, and it shouldn't be. We have abundant sunlight and we could take advantage of this, and we have the manpower to do it. We're one of the most educated nations across the world. We could do it, but it's just bringing it to the consciousness of people. So it's about jobs that are in environmental sustainability and in the sector that does not harm the environment in production, does not harm the environment in manufacturing. So that's what it means. And it is estimated that by 2030, the green economy alone will generate like 4.3 million jobs. It's a huge sector, and it's cross-cutting. It's not only for engineers, for environmental scientists, lawyers even, in climate finance. So across all educational areas, there's room for everybody to get involved in the green economy.
But fine, it looks like it's great opportunities await.
Yes.
But to what extent can we take advantage of that, or are they available to us in Botswana?
This is where programs like ours, even partnering with BUAN, come in, because we realize there is that gap. We do need to take more advantage of it than we are right now. And with BUAN veering towards sustainability, we'll see kids go there to get involved in agriculture and environmental science in some form, right? But more in the traditional sense. But now, if you're bringing the issue of sustainability, it's like, okay, agriculture is good. It's good for food productivity, for food security. But we're talking now about regenerative agriculture, about smart agriculture, and how not only can you increase your yields, but you can preserve the environment in the process, which is, so it's not about phasing out anything really, but it's like even in the existing structures, how do we improve that? How do we make that better in a way that we leave something for the future generations? We don't degrade the environment while trying to make money, raise food security, and all these things that are important.
Is there a way of quantifying, I don't know, whether monetary quantification or just in terms of the jobs that may be created through green jobs?
It would be harder to quantify at this point. I don't have that data, but I'll say, looking at the fact that even within mining, which is our biggest sector, there are things that could be employed through clean tech and through just investing in more greener ways to do mining, and that sector alone, for already what it's generating, it could be made better and also create a whole new other employment opportunities for young people. In agriculture, I just mentioned agriculture, the same thing stands. There's already efforts toward food production. How do we then make that sustainable? So it's about adding on to what exists. So I would say, instead of seeing it as just mention that a young man in BUAN recently asked us if we're trying to advocate them out of he's in agriculture. Right. If we're trying to advocate them out of that because other organizations do that, it's like they view what they do as bad. That is not what we're doing. In fact, with incorporation of the clean tech and also just a green mindset consciousness, it's like you can better it and even create more opportunities for employment and for the environment.
What are the kind of jobs that young people can expect to go into with regards to this area?
Okay. I think most commonly, even looking at what's been done across Africa through GAIO and other organizations, would say in waste management, we see young people doing incredible things, turning waste, talking of the circular economy, turning waste into value-added products, be it for building materials, be it for paving, using plastic, all these things that are happening, be it turning biomass into usable fuel. There are all these things that young people can become entrepreneurs in Botswana, take these things that are seen as waste, as a problem, convert them into something that can make them money and also like impact the socio-economic landscape of Botswana. And as well, I mentioned renewable energy earlier, opportunities in solar, especially in Botswana. We could even extend that to vocational training where people could be trained on installations of solar panels and all of that. There's so many opportunities that exist. It won't reduce anything, just add more. Why
BUAN, and what's the importance of having educational institutions partnering with NGOs like GAIO?
I would say they serve as a bridge. That's a way to put it, because I say unfortunately, the education system has not really changed much from when we were in school, from even when people before us were in school, but realizing that this is where we are and it's going to happen. Look at what happened with ESGs and SDGs. It's mandatory now for companies to have that in some sense. It's almost inevitable that all countries are going to be have a good stand in some way if they've incorporated renewable energy, right? So NGOs like ours who work in environmental sustainability and promoting renewable energy and all of that serve as a bridge between between one and the students to say, okay, this is what you're teaching them, this is what we have available on the ground, and this is some of the programs that we're doing in the community. Opportunities for internship, opportunities for them to learn. And I will also say, recently we're working on a partnership with 10 Billion Strong. They've done this work for a long time across the entire world, raising green leaders, and that's very important because we're trying to incorporate that, to get them into the Green Leaders Academy, to get the students into such opportunities to know that you don't have to limit yourself, even to Botswana, though we should be worried about developing our country, but there's so many opportunities that exist that you could be working virtually in some other country while you are here. Within this economy, it offers so many opportunities, and so partnering with universities, we have a pipeline to students now. People we need to impact who are going to go out into the workforce, be frustrated because there are no jobs. Yeah. But if we put this mechanism in place, then it's easier for them.
What actual programs do you have or do you anticipate on rolling out with the work that you are doing?
I mentioned earlier the Gaio Eco Club, which will foster ecopreneurship. Ecopreneurship is just like environmental conservation entrepreneurship and other waste management activities that we'll be getting engaged with that. As well as we have zero waste initiatives. We'll be starting and signing an MOU with the Gauteng region to work on that, to impact communities, not only on like cleanup campaigns, which is the norm, but on really what I just mentioned. How can you take something that is a problem and turn it into something that could be beneficial for the economy, create jobs as well, and have conversations and also programs with them around sustainable agriculture, do things like composting. So we're looking at that in terms of zero waste initiatives. And just later this year, we'll be hosting the Youth Sustain Conference as Gaio Botswana. So it's an academic conference. Speaking of empowerment, we'll be targeting students as well and just industry experts and young people who are into the green business already in Botswana. So through the Youth Sustain Conference, people will get to submit abstracts on the work they're doing around climate change thematic areas. So these are some of the things that we are offering and that we'll be bringing to Botswana. And Youth Sustain is a program by Gaio, and so it has been done in Ghana so far for the past 2 years, and over 400 delegates attend this thing from all over Africa. And this year it's coming to Botswana through Gaio Botswana.
Great stuff. 30 seconds I have for you.
Of course.
If you could tell us who belongs to Gaio, how does one belong to Gaio, because I believe it's a youth-oriented organization, and what would you like to say to the youth?
Gaio is for the youth. Its main mandate is to empower the youth and create
kala bokae mme tsona tsela mo tsona talo mo khwetsi gona gore khwetsa ka lebelo le le ka le tsele gore ngwa ha o ka tshoganyetsa mo tsama ka dino o ka mohase baka sa go gabaganya tsela o sa mo ama go tshele ka koloi ra ke mahelo a beke go tsa go le tsona go sa ga kolla ke tsone tsene gore ngwa ha ntse re thulibela mo dikotsing tsa bona gore le sa be thata e bo nnotagi ke ngwa le tsene gore ha ntse re thulibela tsa le sa be re thata mo le gore ta gore no go be gore ro tsena mo koloi o sa itekanela ka tsela ntse ra hela go tla bela kana ha ra sa bona re koloi ha tsela ga go e bo kgakala boka o hela o ithuta mme re kopela gore be so nnotagi le koloi ga tsamaisare mabelo a heteletseng ke ngwa le tsene gore ga di temogela mo dikotsing tsa rona tsa le sa parra ba ngwa tsa ba e ra ba shaita o bana re emetelele mo tsere go hela gore bo rokela ba iterekela go hela go nna le kotsi se kopa gore ha lu tsa le tsapa le tsa hatala gore o ema pele kana o khutsa pele o ka tsalla le motse pele mme ya pela mo ruwa go mo ne re go gakola gore a re ne tsa gore go mo tsa rona di a tswa mo ditseleng ka tsela hela entseng jalo ke gore sa phakano go tswa mo tropo go ga gore ke a leboga se ke a leboga constable ke tsa ke re di gagolo tse go tse di intertane tha jalo gone gore a di dirisa le gone re ta kopana le wena mo biking ya latelang. Thank you, sir. Right, ke tswa mo Gaborone ke a jalo ka ko toropong ya ga Daniel Francis ke bua jalo ka Francetown ko le gore Constable Morobele tene mo magaleng gore a re bolle gore ka ko toropong ya ga Daniel se mo sa pharkano se me ka tsela entse jang Constable. Dumela meleteng. Re teng re tsotsi. Ma ko di garle jalo tsa pharkano gone ka ko toropong ya Francetown. Ke a leboga rra.
mogedi wa BTV seemo sa pharakano se le jaana re itemogela pharakano e santseng e tsamaya sentle mo ditsela tsa rona tse dikgolo tse di tsenang mo toropong mokgweetsi tswelela hela jalo ba ne le ona matshwao a tsela o di tshwane sentle le bakgweetsi ba bangwe ditsela tse di mo legare la toropo le tsone hela jalo pharakano e santse le kwa tlase mo ditsela tse di tshwanang ka street ha o tswa mo bus renkeng St. Patrick ya o hetsa ha John Mackenzie Blue Jacket Street go na ha Beatrice Plaza le tsela ya boitsiso ga di na le ha ile tshireletso sepe ba ba tswang manaka go ipona tsa pharakano e simololang go kokwana go mo tseleng eo ya Motsuwa tsinya ha o hetsa ha area SDF camp e thelagala mo tseleng ya Somnojoma ka jalo dirisang tsela ya New Bridge gore le sekala o ketsa pharakano mo tseleng eo tsela ya Marang le one pharakano e santse le magare Martin Luther King Jr. le one seemo santse se le mo taolong kone tsa rona tsa taolo mosepele ke a bereka di obameleng ka nako tsotlhe go bokhutsong hela mmake kope ikobile gore a re ipabaleleng jaaka re tsena mahelong a beke netefatsa gore koloi ya gago itekanetse pele ga o tsaya mosepele go kotsang go tsaya nnotagi phetelela ka gore ga o iphitisitse dino ga o kgone go tsaya dikgetho tsone tse di maleba ba tsamaya ka dinao le lona hela jalo dirisang tsela ka ga go tshwanetseng go babalesegile thata gore le kgabaganye gone ga le tswetsweng go kgabaganya teng mo di-pedestrian crossing moreetsi wetso nna le mahelo a beke a balesegileng re tla kopana gape mo nakong e tlang ke a leboga
go leboga e tsera ka o tana jalo le mahelo a beke a mantle
thank you
me ke di garela jalo ka motse wa mong go le gore sub inspector ke lo tshegetse le no tara bolla gore mo bekeng eno di sa mele ka tseleng tsa ga mmogo le gone ba tsene mosetsa gore mola bathana go mpieko seemo sa pharakano se tsamaya ka tsela e ntseng jang sub inspector
Dumela sir.
ra le tele siameng khonne
Re siame ra.
ra nya o ka tsena mo go tsona ba la jalo go seemo sa pharakano se tsamaya ka tsela e ntseng jang ka ko mau
Ke a leboga ra ne ke tsena go ke le dumedise ba bogedi le ba tsona television ga mmogo lalo le bone ba di tsela ra ka re ke sutela gore pharakano mo toropong ya Maunra e ka ntse la tlase mo nakong ya gompieno se go le di tsana go le itshwana phakelana kopa ka gore ba ga itshware tshweng di bone hela di keletseng re kgone gore dikoloi tsa rona di bonale mme ebile ga re se re tsena ka toropo ka re tsore bangwe ba tswa ha tsonyana ko meeting e ko ntle ga toropo e leng gore go na le ga e tlhobong le tlelesa go tsona ka lebelo le go dingwenyana ga re tsena ka toropo re go tswa lebelo re tla tswelela re buela ka gore itemogetse gone gore ntse dikotsi di a iragala tse di supeng la gore batho ba ba ya bogile ka lebelo le le go dingwana mme ditsela tsa rona di tsamaela sentle tsela da tsa go maasela tsa kama tseko gone lalo le tawana e tshwaraganyang tsone ditsela tse mo gare ga toropo mme kopa ka gore a re leng ka nako ba gaetso re tse tlhogela gore go nna le pharakano ya go dimonyana gale morago ga nako ya bosupa re dirisa ditsela tse e leng gore di pedi hela tse di tswelang noka mme tlhela e le sempete ke go etse gone go elela go tsenya bone bana ba sekolo mo diphatseng mo ba etsengela bosedi ga mmogo le gone ga Mount Secondary School gone gale kopa ka gore a re ba ele tlhoko re tlholegela re obamela matshwao a tsela re straight tsela re amegile mo dikotsing le makopanong a ditsela re emeng tota hela re ele tlhoko gone gore ke mang o tsileng pele re ganeng tsone sebaka dipone tsa mosepele di dira hela sentle kopa ka gore le aka re tsena mahelong a beke ba gaetso a gore itlhokomeleng dikoloi tsa rona gore gongwe le gongwe gore yang teng re goroge re babalesegile ke re digela gone ga ra mahelo a dikiao re ya itimeleng re boe re mo botile tsa ke a lebogara
a ra leboga sub inspector ke sa ke la beke a mante gona ka mong ka ko e le jalo sub inspector a garela jalo seemo sa pharakano gone ka ko motseng wa mo bekeng yone o tsa jalo gone gore te kganya le bone gape mo bekeng e latela mme ka se sebaka ke tsutela jalo kgaitsere ke LD gore bolo gore mo mosong wa mpiko ra gutela sela rona ko kae
ha re boa ka kwa re tla be re na le ene Losika Loose Boys bone a ta gore bolela gore history ya gagwe le radio e simolotsa ha ka ebile o ithutile eng ha sa le nna ene ele mogasi wa seromamoa jaanong pele ga re tsena ko ha ile gore tshukudu ke so se leng gore o eletsa go se iponna ka matlo this is your opportunity to discover Botswana re ya jalo ko Mokolodi let us go see some rhinos.
Mokolodi was established in 1993 on a 4,000 hectare farm that was previously used as a communal grazing land. And after that, we fenced off the area and introduced wildlife in here. We have various species of animals. I can list a few. We have zebras, giraffe, obviously rhino, a couple of antelope like impala, gemsbok, hartebeest, and yeah, that's basically just to mention a few of. So here in Moklori Nature Reserve, we started our rhino breeding program in 1994. We started with 6 rhino that we acquired from KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. So over the years, our rhino breeding program has been successful. We got 4 females and 2 males, and over the years, our breeding program has contributed successfully towards the repopulation of rhino species in Botswana. At some point, rhino were extinct in Botswana, so through the years, we have been able to breed and tell them apart in the size. The white rhino is the 2nd largest land mammal, that's after the elephant, and the black rhino is slightly smaller. If you look at the way the positions which they hold themselves when they walk, a white rhino generally walks with its head down because it's a grazer, it eats grass. It has a wider mouth, and that's where it gets its name from. Whereas the black rhino has a hooked lip because it's a browser, it eats leaves. And also the way they are with the children. Normally the child or the calf of the white rhino runs in front of the mother, whereas for the black rhino it runs behind the mother. So basically those are the main differences. And the other important fact to note is that black rhino are critically endangered, whereas the white rhinos are near threatened. So from the rhinos that we saw earlier, the female is called Tsuku. She's been here in Moklori since 1994. She came here when she was 8 years old. And then she was with 2 other calves. One is a sub-adult, that's her grandchild. It's a child of her child. So most of the rhinos that we have here in Moklori are from Tsuku. And then the other one, the younger one, was her new calf, which is about 1.5 years old. On an annual basis, we obviously try to determine the carrying capacity of our game reserve. That helps us to determine the number of species that we can keep and what species we can keep. Sometimes as a farmer, you'll see that you have a lot of grass in the area and you think, oh no, everything is great. But that might not be the case because you might have some unpalatable grass with very minimal nutritional value. That's why it's always important to carry out vegetation assessment in order to see the types of species of grass that you have and determine whether they are of good nutritional value. And that can also tell you the type of animals and the numbers that you can stock within your game reserve.
Entertainment Fridays, and what better way to entertain ourselves than to look back and reminisce on the history of radio. Re bapile le modiragatsi wa seromamoa o eleng gore o tswa kgakala le dio tsa radio ebile re batla go utlwa from him now that he's in his post-radio era. What has he learned from radio? What is it that he wants people to understand about the medium? Le gone gore go tšhentšhileng se eleng gore gongwe wa se rata gongwe ha se rate. We're sitting with one of the funniest men to ever do it on our radio airwaves. His name is Lusika Luzboy Siboni. Please welcome him to the show. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Obi, for having me here.
In the morning.
Yeah, and the wife.
Yeah, but
when it's like very serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but like
Lusika
generally,
is like it's a very hard name to call.
Right. Everyone calls you Luzboy.
Yes.
Does that Luzboy come from Lusika? How did you get the name?
Actually, it does.
Yeah.
Lucy boy. Lusika.
Right,
Lusika boy. So they used to say
Lusika boy. Nice.
Lucy, yeah, that's where it comes from.
So that people who re ka re ke ma 2000 gongwe ba re bogetse mo mosong wa gompieno ha ba itse gore ga te lose boy ke mang o simolotse kae. Tell us a little bit about your journey with radio, when you started and when you finally walked away from it.
Yeah, so 1999, I used to live in America, by the
Right.
way. Yeah. So I used to have like fun at a campus radio station at my high school back then in San Francisco.
Right.
But it wasn't really that serious, but I had a feel of a studio. So when I came back here, the first adult, no, not adult,
Contemporary radio
first
station.
youth
Yes.
radio station being Yarona FM were advertising. And before, what used to influence what radio was, or what private radio is supposed to sound like, was from the days of Semi T Munda, DJ Fresh,
Yeah.
Brass,
Like the
Dignesh. We
guys
used to
who
wake
were-
up on a Saturday morning just to check that out.
Right.
And then when I came back from America, I used to do like short intro stings
Right.
for them, like even for Fresh.
Wow.
Hello, you reached the mother Funky FM 103. It's DJ Fresh. He's in the house. He's with the faculty.
Right.
My homeboy kicking things with the boom and bash.
Come
He don't stop. He's the
on.
Friggity Funky DJ. So that's actually the name Friggity comes from.
Ah. You
So-
see the history of
That's it.
So
here-
interesting.
yeah. So here comes this cool young American Tswana boy, and you know I was always been the class clown, and then when Yarn FM brought out the ad to say that we're looking for presenters, somebody
Right.
says, "Yo, go throw in there." So I was late for that, and they had already
Well,
started.
play late.
Yeah, so
Hey.
so anyway, we knew Moraki and then picked up an envelope.
Right.
Right. Grandpa, I was with Biscoboya. Bush. So they're just like, we're talking. Let's just listen to this guy. And Pesira Lady tells me that in fact, he says the interview was actually not great, according to him. I think it's because it was just a row, but anyway, I thought I kicked it.
Well, I know if you are blind.
Yeah, I think
Right.
if you are blind. But the minute that they switched on that airwave, you know, life had never been the same again.
Right.
So everything just catapulted into something else.
What made you leave? What was the thing that you decided, okay, my time on air is done?
Sure, you went a little bit far there. I just think with age and with the kids,
Yeah.
I was asked the question by the wife to say, can you please tell me where you're going to be in 5 years? And I had just come back from an MC gig. So you must understand that as a radio presenter, we're doing a lot of things.
Right.
And one of the things that set me apart back then was the fact that the show was so controversial. And then two, I was the first one on TV, meaning BTV, when
Right.
BTV just launched, Mogorisa, with a Vista/Orange advert in every unity man.
Ke ha ile gore o mo television.
No. That one then just took things far
Yeah.
because there was no social media. And one of the things that was really important for us is that we generated and created language.
Right.
Yeah.
Kore, you were the real trendsetters at the time.
That's it.
And how has that changed? I wonder what elements of radio do you listen to now, or what elements of the culture do you listen to now? Radio Chile, and I really enjoy it. And what elements of it do you say, I really miss this about radio?
Yeah, I just think sometimes they're doing a little bit too much. We kept it really simple.
Right.
And one of the best radio stations back then, or radio presenters, Owen used to say it's Big Duke, according to this guy. Forward sells songs, back sells songs, tells you the time, gives you the weather, and that's really where the basics were.
Right.
With me, the rules were but what happens is that, you know, a lot of young people are doing a little bit, you know, too much. And then sometimes the talking,
It's
it's like
too
you want to hear the
much.
sound of your voice.
So ribua thata ke selo se se bua.
Yes, sort of, you know, but
Yeah.
they don't really resonate maybe with us, maybe
Right.
with the younger generation. But they used to ask me one magical thing. They used to say, why are your radio shows so different? I said, because I think I'm an intriguing character. I entertain Lusika first. And then once that happens, I'm pretty sure the rest of you will be entertained. Yeah, so I think that's where the magic was.
And is there something that has changed that you are enjoying about radio?
Yeah, no, I listen. I'm supposed to be listening to a lot of adult contemporary radio.
Right.
But I find myself, you know, between Dollar and Fox, maybe I'll leave because Rati is not there.
Right.
Right. But I find Fox to be representative of what radio sort of used to be. Yeah, just the off the cuff type speaking. I really like that, you know.
You really enjoy that. So something that I wonder is the transition. You know, radio and entertainment industry is looked at or was looked at as something that you do, and then you go and get a real job.
Yes.
Is that something that you can relate to? And has that changed in your view?
Yeah, I mean, it really needs to be viewed as a real career. Now that you have all the tools at your disposal, we didn't have social media.
Right.
And then you guys can delve into other things that are related, because this is information sharing and this is a powerful medium. So it's really important for you to be able to be a curator, curate your own content. It's possible for you to go and work for an agency and then say, I'm going to concentrate on writing or on intellectual property,
right,
and so on and so forth. So for me, I ended up leaving because I encompassed all these things, and the career couldn't be there. So I used to go on the radio station. I used to go to the law firm in the morning.
Right.
I used to work for Mudimo and Associates as a lawyer.
Yes.
And then
imagine.
And then midday show, and then back to the law firm.
Back to work.
To the law firm. In fact, actually not back to the law firm in the afternoon. When we started, all the ads that were on radio, especially RB2, it's about Tastic, but these were South African ads, and that really annoyed me. So Brando was then working at Yaron FM, and then I started my ad agency then by actually recording the ads and telling companies this is what it should look like. So I bought a tape recorder, and then in between songs, go and record the ads. They are produciwa. I then take them to the thing, I'll receive book. Then I'll take them to BDC, or I take them to different organizations to say, guys, this is what I think you could sound like. And really, I became all sorts of things to all sorts of people. So you entertain, you're doing a little bit of law, and then I'm emceeing in the weekends, and then, like corporate emceeing or midweek, and then emceeing over the weekend as well. So that's a whole portfolio. Hey? So I think people need to...
I think that's one of the very interesting things. When you think about people like Lungu Andre Pizzi, he was on television while on radio, Adirabu MC, a modeler, his multifaceted individual. When you think of that as an employer or somebody who could be hiring, how does that develop you as an individual, as an employee, as somebody who's competitive in the working world, as in, what did these skills do for you now that you own your own ad agency?
Well, it also goes to the content that I used to create. I used to say, I read the local newspapers, I read the international papers, and I give you a lot of important content.
Right.
So when you ask me about some of the things that I'm missing in today's shows, it's just that I want to be kept abreast with what's happening. So I could tell you every single thing that's happening right now with Trump and Biden and what's happening in that campaign, what's happening in Ukraine, the latest from Hamas, the new cabinet with the government of national unity, and some of the things that are happening here with, election season or with the new bank rate from Bank of Botswana. And I just feel that
that's lacking.
That has been lacking. But what is important, what you asked is, as an employer, these are the type of individuals that we should be looking for, because we need people that are very diverse, because the world now is not just one-dimensional. You want someone who's so woke, they understand different facets of life.
Right.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Hi, I am sitting down with a radio legend. His name is Lusika Luzboy Seboni. And we're talking all things radio. Akere Entertainment Friday. So, how can we improve the industry? And I think that is my next question. Since you left, do you see a growth in the industry? Do you see a decline in the industry? What do you make of the industry that is radio now in 2024?
I think you're only as good as your management. Yeah, so a lot has been stifled by the fact that these gentlemen, came up with brilliant ideas. They were running companies and they didn't even know much about business or how to run the radio business. So a lot of the stifling really had to do with that. I give it up to them. I saw Poppy yesterday.
Right.
I saw Pop Shield.
Yeah.
Gave him a hug at Pick and Pay. I'm just like, yo, thank you for making me the person that I was.
Right.
But back then there was no appreciation because, as is the case with any work environment, toxicity is just it's the order of the day. And I just think that there's been a lot of improvement and a lot of growth because you guys are now harnessing all facets of the tools that are at your disposal, meaning social media.
And the changes
skills.
in technology.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time to chat about it, but your final word to anyone who is an aspiring radio presenter who wants to be on radio, what should they know?
I just think be yourself and just be a knowledgeable human being. And one thing that's a great thing that I've done, I'm now BQA accredited.
Right.
We're about to be HRDC accredited as well. So we are launching, with the assistance of Giselle Kebakile, the first radio and MC academy right here. So it's a short course that's going to help you to be able to understand the dynamics of public speaking.
Right.
I feel I want to encourage also young people to write more because
right.
So,
we are clean out of time. Lusika Luzboy Seboni, Abu Ajalo Are. Be informed, inform yourself. That's the one thing that they're looking for in a radio.